how much of a big deal are Donald Trump's comments and his, he's not backing down on this question of Judge Gonzalo Curiel. Newt Gingrich said it was a huge mistake for him to hold this position. Does it matter?
It's hard to say, because what Donald Trump does, and as he did in his interview with you, is he will take one of your questions. He won't exactly answer it. He will take words that you brought up in your question and he will say them again and again without actually addressing the substance of your question. And the reason he does that is to make it appear as though he's responding. And frankly, that's been decently effective so far. He doesn't address the actual charge. And the question is, do people actually believe that he's bigoted or not? If they believe he's bigoted, and of course much of the country already does, they'll accept that this reinforces that view. If they simply don't believe it, if they believe he's basically a decent guy who's being hounded by the media in an unfair way, they'll believe that. And he recognizes that uncertainty and he plays to it.
Well, I went back and went through the 2013 autopsy that the Republican Party did after their loss in 2012. And literally everything he's doing right now is the opposite of what Republicans thought the next presidential candidate needed to do. Specifically on tone, it wasn't just he needs to come out and support immigration or do better with these groups. They said, if we have a tone that suggests that we don't like these people, it doesn't matter what our policies are. So when Trump says, I'm going to bring jobs back, it doesn't matter what I say about walls or about Mexicans not being able to take my case. That's exactly the opposite of what they learned from the last
And
time.
yet, Susan, Republicans are lining up smartly behind Donald Trump despite the tone. I mean, it's not just Paul Ryan, it's Marco Rubio, and you look at the distance some of them have traveled. I mean, Rick Perry called him a cancer. Now he's saying he's wonderful. Mm-hmm. They are, in a sense, and people have written this, they are basically affirming everything he said about them and how quickly politicians will fishtail to get to the right place. So the Republican Party is getting behind this candidate.
I think senior Republicans decided they didn't have an alternative. He had won the nomination. He's going to be nominated at the convention. I think one thing we're seeing is a battle for the post-Trump GOP. I mean, I think that's why you see them come out and say, Paul Ryan among them saying, I'm going to vote for him, I'm endorsing him, but I have a totally different vision on all these issues like immigration or the Muslim judge or the Mexican judge or the Muslim ban. Because they want to have an alternative vision of the Republican Party to offer once this election is over, and that is on the assumption that Trump is going to lose, because winning the nomination is a different electorate than they face now in the general election. This is a much more diverse electorate. It's a much younger electorate. It's people who are going to be, I think, quite concerned, voters, not just elites, voters concerned about the positions that he's taking.